I've spent years studying two very different systems of thought. On one side, Hermetic philosophy, especially the 7 principles from the Kybalion. On the other, Ayn Rand's radical objectivism. They don't play nicely together. One begins with the claim that the all is mind. The other begins with the axiom that existence exists independently of consciousness. Today, I want to examine this tension honestly, not to force a reconciliation, not Hegel, but to ask a practical question. Can any part of Hermeticism survive under objectivist standards of reason and still be useful for a creative life? Let's look at it carefully. First, quick and accurate summaries, so we're not talking past each other. Hermeticism, as presented in the Kybalion, rests on mentalism. Reality is fundamentally mental. You can read the full public domain text here, the Kybalion on Wikisource. Objectivism starts from the opposite end. Existence exists. Consciousness is the faculty that perceives existence. It does not create it. Reason is man's only means of knowledge. The core ethical statement is in Rand's essay, The Objectivist Ethics, available here at ARI Campus, The Objectivist Ethics. These are not small differences. They are foundational. Let's look at the real conflicts. First, metaphysics. Hermetic mentalism treats mind as primary. Objectivism treats existence as primary. Second, epistemology. Hermeticism leaves room for intuition and gnosis. Objectivism does not. Rand was explicit about this in essays collected in Philosophy, Who Needs It? Especially Faith and Force, the destroyers of the modern world. Third, the status of the individual. Many Hermetic paths aim at transcending the personal ego. Objectivism treats the individual rational ego as the moral unit. These three conflicts are structural. A full philosophical marriage is not possible without diluting one system beyond recognition. That said, there are limited points of contact if we treat Hermetic ideas carefully as psychological or practical tools rather than metaphysical truths. Mentalism can be read as a strong statement about the power of focused consciousness. Correspondence can be reinterpreted as pattern recognition. Both systems value deliberate self-creation. You can explore the original Hermetic formulations again here, the Kybalion full text, and the Objectivist emphasis on productiveness and pride in the Objectivist ethics. Notice what I'm doing, keeping Objectivist standards as evidence while borrowing Hermetic language only where it describes real psychological facts. My own working position to this, I hold Objectivist metaphysics and epistemology. Within that framework, I still find certain Hermetic formulations useful as mental tools when I sit down with the guitar. Mentalism reminds me that the quality of my attention determines the quality of the sound. Correspondence reminds me to look for structural unity in a piece. For examples of highly focused, intentional classical guitar playing that illustrate this kind of mental discipline, see this performance here of the Bach fugue, or clean pedagogical approaches to a deliberate practice. So, can Hermeticism and radical objectivism be reconciled? Fully, no. Practically, in limited ways, yes, if you treat Hermetic principles as heuristics under the discipline of reason. For a creative life, that limited version is enough. primary sources again. I'd like to know what you think. Leave it in the comments. If this kind of careful examination is useful, consider subscribing. Peace out.